Thanks for clicking on the video. This is Gulpain, just back again with a quick, well, it's not really a video response, it's just a question. I didn't see anyone talking about this. Normally I do video responses to other people, but this time I'm coming up with my own content, which is a direct copy of something I just said. So today I'm going to talk about what would you rather, the PSP or the Nintendo DS. So I've got the two of them here, and I love both of these systems a lot, but which one would you actually pick if you had to pick one? Which would you actually pick? Let's have a look. So the DS, I was thinking about this, and I love the PSP, and the PSP is probably the system I have the most games for at the moment. Just I'm looking at my collection, but it's probably PS4 actually, because I just have a load of PS4 games. But the PSP, actually the most games I have is the Switch. Yeah, it's the most games, the most physical games. So the PSP is probably my second most system I have the most games for. And then the Game Boy Advance and the DS. See, the thing about the DS is that it plays Game Boy Advance games. Well, this one does, not the newer, like the DSi XL. This is a DXi. The DS XL doesn't play Game Boy Advance games, but this one does. So then this one actually has all the DS games and all the Game Boy Advance games. And I think, no, just it doesn't. I don't know if it plays Game Boy games. I wouldn't want to play Game Boy games anyway. But yeah, it has all the Game Boy Advance games and the DS games. So then that's an extreme advantage, because that's like two just my rabbit is just having a chat to me. Two kind of schools of games, or two like libraries of games you can play. So that's kind of, Jeffrey, do you want to be in the video? Come here. Yeah. This is Jeffrey. He's saying a quick hello. Hello, everybody. Okay, so yeah, so you got two. So you have two different libraries of games. So that's kind of. Plus, it does have a lot of the RPGs that I like particularly like the Super Nintendo ones, and the Game Boy Advance has loads of RPGs that I like. So, ooh, that's a tough one. But then the PSP, then the mighty PSP, has so many good games on it. But it also has like games from like the PS1. Well, some of the games from the PS1. It has like PS2 games as well. Like they're kind of, made for PSP. There's like even like PS3 games are on it, like the Army of Two game, but like, it's not like the one for the PS3. It's like a different sort of game. They've made it like a kind of isometric three-quarter side shooter instead of like a third-person co-op game. But yeah, the PSP is like so many cool RPGs, and like at the moment I'm playing Final Fantasy 1. I'm going through all the Final Fantasy games on the PSP, so I don't know, it's very difficult. This is even worse than when I tried to pick between the Vita and the 3DS. So if I had to go for one between the PSP and the DS, I'll have to go for, even though I love the PSP, I'd probably have to go for the DS, just because of the backwards compatibility with the Game Boy Advance games. Because I'm just thinking now, looking at my collection, there's so many Game Boy Advance games that I'm actually wanting to play, and I played them with the DS. But then if you just take the DS games, not the Game Boy Advance games, because I suppose that's a different library, I'd probably just go for the PSP, because the PSP has such an amazing selection of RPGs and sort of kind of different genres as well. I know it has like a couple of like, well, maybe like 3 or 4 like survival horror games, which I do like as well. So you'd have like, the two Silent Hill games, and Obscure. There must be another horror game on the PSP, and I'm forgetting there. But yeah, so let's go for PSP at the moment. That might change when I start getting into the DS again or the Game Boy Advance again. So let me know your thoughts on this particular question. This is a tough one as well, to pick between two of them. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching to the end. Adios.